Hello everybody, what's up? Welcome to the newest series on this channel. What this is it's basically my explanations and my viewings, and maybe even Ninja Zoe 002 every once in a while, on the, Legend of Zelda timeline. Storyline, same thing. Anyway, so, it's gonna be quite a longer series, because me and him both have many thoughts and opinions on the timeline, especially with the new Zelda game coming up. It's bound to change. Anyway, let's start. So, of course, we're gonna start here with Skyward Sword. But there's one problem, like, how? Like, The problem with Skyward Sword that I have, even though I love the game, it's in my top, probably my 6th, 7th favorite Zelda game of all time. The problem with it is that there is no story at all. I guess if you look through the Four Swords, the first Four Swords out of the two Four Swords games, the first one, there is the whole thing with Vaddie and his flying thing where he has his flying machine thing, but that doesn't really get up. It doesn't have anything to do with the Skyward Sword, where it is Skyloft. There's literally no explanation for that. That's the only problem that I have that I hope they'll explain in the next Zelda game coming up. But otherwise, the reason I like Skyward Sword so much is because even though it was one of the last Zelda games to come out, right before Link Between Worlds, which was a great game, love Link Between Worlds. The problem with Skyward Sword, how do I say this? The treasure hunting, it's okay, but what I do like about it is how they introduce the Farron region, Lanayru, the Eldin region, and they introduce the three gods that everyone loves in the Zelda series, which is then spiraled on to stuff such as Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess. And it just is great how it just spreads out like that. But the problem with that spread out is that, well, it mostly goes into the dark, when the timeline split into three, it goes into the dark areas, the Twilight Zones, where it literally goes Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and Twilight Princess. And it just seems that if they would have split those up more, would have been possibly better. Because with the Wind Waker, with the Farron regions, with all the regions in general, it just has the gods. But then the Deku Tree. They have the Deku Tree too, and it comes back. But then afterwards, with Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks, you don't. You have a freaking steamboat and a train. You don't have any of that. So I wish if they would have made a full timeline on that, because the Four Swords Hyrule Warriors, something like that. Dynasty, I forget the second Four Swords. I'll put it that way. It has nothing to do with Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess, in my opinion, because Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess, they are very dark, and although the last Four Swords is slightly dark, it doesn't have much to do with those two, as it has to do with Ocarina of Time. But yeah, so that's what my opinions are about the regions. Because then again, in the series of the Dark Era, where it has the Oracles, A Link Between Worlds, A Link to the Past, and everyone's favorite, Zelda 1 and Zelda 2, it literally almost has nothing to do with the regions. They do have the gods with like all the charms and stuff, like the necklaces, stuff. I can't even talk, that they have in A Link Between Worlds and A Link to the Past. But it doesn't talk much about the it doesn't have the regions in them as much as I would love them to. Although they are overhead, they are it just, yeah, I mean, like, in the Oracle, they do have the gods themselves, but I wish they had the regions bigger. But that's why I like the 3D games more than the overhead, because it really shows how big the world of Hyrule is. Which gets me to my next subject, Hyrule. Another problem, Skyloft. Minish Cap. What the heck? I mean, although Skyloft isn't technically Hyrule sorry about that. It sort of is at the same time, because there would be no Minish Cap without that. And although Four Swords Anniversary has nothing to do with Hyrule at all, it's just sort of a continuation of the Minish Cap. It just makes no sense. We have not gotten any info on that. That's why I hope. I thought I heard it. That's why I hope so much that they will make that clear in the Zelda 2015, whatever 2016. I don't even care anymore when that comes out. I just want a new freaking Zelda game. But yeah. So it's not really Hyrule in the first Zelda, which makes me wonder how it becomes Hyrule in the Minish Cap, because all we do know that it's not just a 100-year gap in between Skyward Sword and the Minish Cap. It is hundreds of years. I think maybe almost 1,000, 2,000, just because of how they're laid out. But yet again, I don't know. Like, but there's so much references from the Minish Cap too. Like, although Minish Cap wasn't exactly looked up upon, it is my favorite overhead Zelda game. I am just got it for the Wii U Virtual Console. Like yesterday around this time, and I've already beaten like more than half the game. But I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. With the Minish Cap though, it has so many like, if you really pay attention, the mayor in the Minish Cap, he's into masks. Majora's Mask. What happens? Is that guy in the Minish Cap? I mean, the guy from Majora's Mask is in Ocarina of Time. Is it the same guy? That's what I want to know, if it's the same guy or not. I mean, come on. But I don't... It isn't always very well explained. It leaves our imagination open in a lot of the loose ends and ties in Legend of Zelda. But I know for sure that Skyward Sword, there has to be a sequel to Skyward Sword from Skyloft. It's gotta be from Skyloft again to show what happens. I mean, like, it's gotta be something where their orbital gravitational force, like, this collapses or something like that, and it falls down, and people die, okay? It's just, it doesn't make sense. It's gotta be where they fall down, and bam, that's where Hyrule is. It's in ruins. With the Skyloft, it would be in ruins, on the ground, right in the middle of Faron, Eldin, and the Lanayru provinces. But that's the problem. That's probably not going to happen. It's just going to leave our imagination open. There has to be something in between Skyward Sword and the Minish Cap. There's got to be something in there, or else it just won't make sense to me, or probably a lot of other people. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Do join in with me next week for the next episode of Hyrule Theory. Moving, I'm packed up, so it's going to be in a new place. Awesome. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I will be doing this every Tuesday for as long as I could ramble on. Thank you guys for watching. Please stay tuned for more updates. Mario Kart 8 is coming out. Tomorrow I'll put up another video. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe.